Alrighty then. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, Zoom was very slow in starting. So
Mhm.
yeah, it just was a little bit sticky, and it said not responding, not responding, and then eventually it came. So brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Hello, Shari. How are you? We didn't get a chance to fully say hello. Let me just make a note.
I'm in overwhelm this morning, but not as bad.
Oh,
Not in, yeah,
interesting, interesting.
yeah.
Share. Let's hear. Let's hear. In
What?
what
Oh,
way?
well, I feel that I want to have the desire uh, to progress, and I don't know
Yeah.
how to do it today. I don't know what it looks like today, and so I get overwhelmed. I'm thinking about the things that I need to do, and I don't know how to do them.
Right, right. Okay. So when you say progress, what do you mean?
Well, what I mean is with my, getting my stuff, posted on, get it up and running.
That's progress with a specific, physical world project.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant progress like with self change. Okay.
Well, that's part of the change for me to
Yeah.
say I can do this. This is a big
Yeah.
thing to say I can,
Right.
and my belief system
Right.
has been very limited,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now it's expanding into I can, and so I'm getting
Right.
motivated
Right.
to
Right.
okay, what's
Wow.
next? What's next?
Right, right. Okay, so just to answer that question, it is that you're already doing the what's next. You are focusing on persistence. You are focusing on asking what's next. That's enough because then the
That's
answers will
enough.
come. Oh yeah, because they will come. Now
Oh,
you're tying the physical project. You're connecting it to your personal shift of being and growing. So in this case, the physical project is very simple. It's all uploaded onto YouTube, and now it's just making them public. So that's what's next. What's next is just connecting and
well,
sharing
no,
it
I
on
have
Facebook
other
and
things
Pinterest.
to deal with. I
Ah,
have a lot of other things to
right,
do with the
right,
project. Yeah.
right. So that's the key, though. We said, what's the key to dealing with overwhelm? Do the one thing that is the simplest, easiest thing that you can do, and just do that.
I'd actually
Focus on that.
recommend starting with the hardest.
Yes, I know, Rachel. You like to do things in the opposite way, but I agree. For me personally, I like doing that also. But if we do the simple little things that are easy to do, it just gets us out of overwhelm mode, and then we can tackle the harder things when we shift the mood and the mindset and the attitude. Yeah,
I understand that. It's just like for me, if you do the hardest one first, then the rest is going to be smooth sailing because you tackled the
yeah,
hardest.
yeah, yeah.
You are brave, Rachel. You are brave.
Yes, yes. That's
Thank you.
that's Rachel's warrior spirit. So yeah, you're very,
Hey,
very
hello then.
courageous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and of course, like all of us, a bit crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's
You know
easy
what they
to see
say?
for us.
Madness
We
is
all
a gift.
Yes, yes. Sherry,
yes.
Sherry,
Yeah.
does that bring some resolution to say, okay, just find anything and just do it.
Well, the
That's all.
easiest thing for me to do after I leave this meeting is to go and do my yoga and my routines, and then
Ah,
I'm going to tackle the hardest thing, one of the
oh,
hardest things, which is this paperwork thing, and then I have to decide whether I come back to Sedona today or not.
right. Okay, okay. So one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
And that is a big deal. Right there, Terry. That is a big deal. That one step at a time. In other words, it's a shifting from worrying about what might be in the future to simply saying, what can I do right now? What do I need to do right now? Why do I need to think about things in the future when I've got something that needs doing right now?
Right now, right here, right now, what we're
Exactly.
doing.
Exactly. And so when I'm done with that, then the next step comes. I can only
Yeah.
look at step 2 once I've finished step 1.
Right.
This is a mindset to really focus on and say, hey, I don't need to be thinking about the things in the future. It's not necessary. I'm busy right now. I've got stuff to do right now. That's all that's needed. When things come that really need doing, they will come knocking at your door and press on you to deal with them. You don't have to ask them. They'll automatically find a way
They'll
to.
show up.
They'll show up. Exactly. Exactly. And you just
It just
so
reminds me of that fucking thing. You seen that little like I don't know what you call it. in like thingy, but it's like a jar, like a jug full of like juice, like orange juice. It's got a little face on it, and it crashes through walls and goes, "Oh yeah." That's like
Like
what
an
you can do
ad.
is like crash through your wall and go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, exactly.
Just do
The things you need to do will come crashing through your world and say, "Oh yeah." Cool.
it. It's the
Very cool.
universe saying, "Start here."
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And when we realize this, we don't have to spend energy and time worrying about what we need to do and what we should do and all this. They'll show up. Just know they'll show up. And if they don't show up, then you don't need to do them. It's very easy. It's very
Oh
simple.
yeah.
Exactly. Rachel, I want to
Yeah.
shift a little bit here. Shari,
Yeah.
we're gonna come back to you in a moment. I just want to celebrate something with Rachel. So, Rachel, tell us what transpired for you. Share what happened for you, which has been so transformational. Simple thing, but why it's a big deal. So, essentially, what you
Wow.
were saying in the post.
It actually brought up other few things like
Well,
health
what brought
health
it up?
issues as
You
well.
have
But
to say what
what
happened
it
because not
is
all of us know what happened.
I'm transgender, so I've had some blood tests done because I'm going to be put on feminization hormones and testosterone blockers. And it turns out that after those blood tests and then monitoring my testosterone levels, it turns out that I have a very severe lack of testosterone in my body. The amount of testosterone in my entire body is that of a newborn baby male. A baby male. I
Ah,
have 13.9 testosterone levels, which is the level of a newborn male baby. And I'm not obviously a newborn baby, but I have the same hormonal levels, and it's just like so that then basically means because testosterone is the aggression gene, and I use an extreme example like a psychopath has high, really high testosterone levels, um, that makes them overly aggressive and murderous.
mm,
And everyone thought that I was going to have a high testosterone. And don't get me wrong, you don't need to have, not everyone with a high testosterone level is going to be a psychopath, but they
right.
will be overly aggressive.
Yeah.
And I've been overly aggressive, so people thought that I had a lot of testosterone. But on the contrary, I actually have a lack of testosterone.
Yeah.
Ah.
You are
Um,
That's
compensating.
interesting.
Yeah.
but that leads to a lot of health issues because obviously that makes me infertile. Um, it if I carried on like living as a male, I'd have to have testosterone given to me to give me testosterone so my body can function properly. Um, and I was like really over the moon because I don't have, although I have a male body currently, I don't have a lot of testosterone. So I'm just like, oh my god, that means my aggression is a product of my environment,
This was
not
it. The implication
my
was
nature.
profound. Yeah.
It's not my
Wow.
nature. So I'm not aggressive because it's biological. That because it's just who I am. It's like my inner wolf is not something that was born with me. It was something that I manifested myself.
Mm,
Um, so rather than let this wolf be part of me, I don't have to anymore because it's not my nature. It's not in my nature. And I'm just like, oh my god, thank the gods that
yes.
I'm not that type of person naturally.
Yeah.
That it's just learnt behavior, and learnt behavior can be unlearned.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
even in
Wow.
psychological studies, whatever you've learnt by the age of 12 is what you're going to be stuck with for the rest of your life because your brain is actually physically incapable of moving past that point. Because if you've learnt to be aggressive at the age of 9, then if you haven't unlearned it by 12, you're going to be like that, and it'll come down to managing it
Yeah.
rather than letting it
Yeah.
stay the
On that
same.
point, Rachel, the research is shifting. And they come, I know that the research, and they believe that, but new research is showing that, yes, it can actually change. The brain is plastic. So even though it is, they believe that they couldn't because it's very difficult to change that. It requires profound, deep change. But we
Well, I'm
can
only
change those things. We can.
I'm only going from what my mum's
Yeah,
learned in
yeah,
college, and she is learning it in college,
yeah,
and they have to use modern statistics
yeah,
and modern theories,
yeah.
and in the brain science and neuroscience in the modern world, they found out through scientific means that whatever you've learned by the age of 12 is going to be with you for the rest of your life,
Right, right.
which is
I'm
why
I'm
it's
talking
very
about
important.
very new. This I don't think it's even it's so new when I'm talking about this plasticity of the brain into old age. I don't think it's even come into the thing yet, but it's coming.
I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah,
All I can go on,
yeah,
all I can talk about is what I know,
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, no,
And
it's all good. I'm just saying that either way,
yeah,
what's
I'm
kind
not
of
saying
exciting. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
That
not saying you're incapable of
right. It
change.
is
I'm
very
saying
difficult. Right.
that it's going to be
Yeah,
near
yeah, yeah.
impossible to
Yes,
change
yes.
some
That's the point.
things.
Right, right.
Like
Ne-
if like I've just, like that's why I gave up the example of the aggression. If you learn to be aggressive
yeah,
by the age of
yeah,
12,
yeah.
then you're not going to be able to calm down. You will have to then shift to managing it rather than being a calm person, because you're
Yes.
never going to get rid of that anger. It's just going to be there. But that's the other thing. I did not learn to be aggressive near 12. I actually learned to be aggressive at the age of 14, 15, which means even by
Ah.
that theory, I can still get rid of it.
Yes,
See?
yes, yes. Leverage,
And
leverage, leverage. Love it. You're
that's
leveraging.
unlocked within me this like desire, this strong desire to be a calm person and to get rid of it. Obviously, I'm going to be like, I can still get angry and I can still be aggressive, but we all can.
Yes,
I don't have to do it to the level I currently am at because it's learned to be on that level.
yes, yes.
So I'm just like completely, I feel
I love
really
it. I
happy,
love it.
almost like I'm high on something, even though I'm not, I don't take drugs.
Yes, yeah,
But it's just like, oh,
yeah, yeah. It's
that's been like a
relief.
massive
It's a
weight off
relief.
my chest because it was
Yes,
something that I thought I'd have to manage, and then I have to like go into all this philosophy and how to control anger and do all of this implications and all of this applications of things, and it's just like nope,
right,
nope.
right. Sometimes
I
it's
just have to unlearn.
yeah, yeah. That's fantastic, Rachel. Oh, I'm so
Oh,
happy for you. Really, it's a
thank
huge,
you.
it's a huge deal. That freeing of the energy and it's saying, wow. And what's impressive to me, what really is significant to me, is that you have this. You are excited at the possibility of deep self change. You're saying,
Yeah,
I can. It's huge. It's huge. It's
I
huge.
know I can now because it's not my nature. And if
Exactly.
it's your nature, if it's in your nature, then the only thing you can do is make peace with it.
And manage it.
Because
Right.
if you try and change something that is part of your nature, part
Right.
of who you are, you create chaos and you end up hurting yourself more than you would if you just went with it.
Right.
Because you get locked in this internal struggle. It's why, like I said before, it's why I hate the term fighting your demons. Because to
Yeah.
fight your demons means to fight yourself.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to dance with them. You have to make
Yes.
peace with them. You
Manage
have to
your
sit
demons. In
down.
other words. Yes.
Exactly. You have to sit
Manage
down
them.
at a fire, pull out some mead, and just share it with your demons, with your inner wolf. You have to make merry with them. You have to sing with them. You have to dance with them. You have to tell jokes with them. You have to, like I said in my post, I've got a bag of treats. I'm going to teach this old wolf some new tricks.
There you go. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, managing our demons. I call them our inner aspects rather than demons, because then demons has the connotation to it. But our inner
Yeah,
aspects, for instance, like Mr. Pride or Mrs. Stubborn, those can be negative. But if we manage them, we can transform them into a positive. It's
yeah.
all
Well,
about management. It's all about
don't get me
strategy and perspective shifting. In other words.
don't get me wrong. The word demon for me
Yeah.
doesn't describe anything
No, I
because
know.
I
I know.
don't believe demons exist.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm
But
just using it for more general. Just.
yeah, yeah. It's why I like to use my own terminology, which is
Oh,
my
it's
own
very
terms.
important. Yeah, yeah,
It's my inner wolf.
yep, yep. No, it's
And it was
essential
like,
to use your own terms.
it's really, really fucking cool as well because I was like doing a meditation and in my meditation, I was dancing with my wolves, you know, like really
Wow.
upbeat music as
Wow.
well. And it was like with the music, we were just like dancing. And what it was in my meditation, um, I was just like standing in the field, and I was just like tapping my foot like that to the rhythm of the beat, and the wolf was dancing around me,
Wow.
and they were just like doing twirls with each other, and it was like jumping in the air and doing a backflip, and it was just, oh my god,
Ah,
oh
brilliant,
my god.
brilliant. Yes, yes. Truly, that's like, when we truly discover who we are. This is the key point to a transformational point to self growth and self awareness. Because when we know what's there, then we can start to deal with it, live with it, and use it. It's really powerful. It's really powerful. Powerful.
Yeah.
So, congrats, Rachel. You are
Ah,
happy, and I'm feeling happy for that.
yes, yes. And on that same point, Sherry, this is, it in a if I abstract it, what you are doing, the awareness today that you are saying, oh, I'm feeling this way and I'm doing something about it, and I'm actually connecting to it. This is a huge deal, right, Sherry? Just the awareness and the attention alone to how you are feeling, why you are feeling, what you can possibly do about it. This is a big, big deal. It's the same thing essentially, right, Sherry?
Yeah,
You with us, Sherry?
it's, I am, but it's starting to get very noisy in here.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
It's all the people
Sherry,
are coming.
do you have
Yeah,
those headphones of yours, the new ones?
yeah, I have the new ones. I have them
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah.
I
Oh, you
do.
have them on? Oh, I didn't see it. You have them
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I
Um,
have them on.
uh,
Yeah, now recap what you just said because it's getting noisy.
right, right.
I got
Oh,
distracted.
I was saying that what Rachel was saying, the shift for her of basically being aware of what's going on inside her, that she
Yeah.
can deal with it. This is a big deal. So she's making peace with her inner wolves, with her inner qualities, and not just making peace with them, but learning to manage them, or in some cases, learning to change them. So this is a huge deal, because that's kind of in the same space where you are at. You are also in a space where you are paying attention to what's going on inside and saying, you know what? I don't need to just accept this as something that I can't deal with. No, I can deal with it. I can change it. I am aware. And even though I don't know how, I believe
Okay,
I can.
that's where I am. That's where I am.
Yes. Yeah. Doesn't matter that
Yeah.
we don't know how.
And yesterday I purposely, with intent, took the day off just to not deal with anything other than just being and just to see what that
Yes.
was like.
Yes.
Uh, I can only do that for one day. I was getting my
At the moment, you can only do it for one day, right? Right.
because
Who knows?
I'm
Who knows what's
anxious.
the future, right? We don't want to
I'm
lock it in.
anxious to progress and to learn and become more.
Yes, yes. And that is that quality of eagerness and earnestness and the desire to learn and change and grow. That is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. That is something to celebrate.
Well, I learned that I have an autoimmune. It's called Hashimoto's, and
Uh-huh.
my numbers. I had the test done, and my numbers are very very high. And I believe that it's the stress, the persistent stress that I've been under for the
Yes.
past year. I mean, for a long time. Uh, my I've been attacking my own thyroid, you know, and
Oh, wow.
it's autoimmune, and so I'm
Yeah.
observing. I'm trying to change the pattern of when I go into fear, overwhelm, and thinking, oh no, what do I do now, and where am I going to live, and all these different things that are coming up
Right.
for me. Uh,
Spiraling into stress, in other words. You
yeah,
don't need to do
yeah.
that. You don't need to do
No,
that.
I don't need to do that. I'm trying to
Yeah.
change the pattern.
Yes. Sorry, Sherry, to interrupt you. On your notes where you wrote your intent,
Yeah.
right? Add this to your intent. You want to change your pattern. This is an intent. Set it as an intent. When we set an intent, it is saying, I want to do this, but also when we set an intent, we are asking the universe to assist us in this. That's what intent is. It is asking for assistance from the universe. And that wording is very important. You see, because that's what you came out of you right now. So to say, hey, I intend to change my pattern.
Yeah. The pattern of going into overwhelm and not trusting that the
Yes.
next thing will be presented. I know it will present itself. It always does.
Exactly, exactly. To change this habit of always looking to the future. No, we want to look now. We want to do now. The future, it will come. Yes, we know it's there. We know it needs doing. Don't worry, it'll come. Very profound pattern change. Very profound. Very, very, very big deal. Very big deal. Wow, I just love the overlap between, that's the thing when we start to look at things from this abstract point of view, we start to see the overlaps. Look at Rachel, your profoundness, and Shari, how there's the overlap in the abstract. Of course, it's not the exact same technical things, but in the abstract, it's the same point. It's saying, hey, I'm shifting. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to focus on. I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to change my pattern. I'm going to learn. I am learning. I am changing. We are focusing on the persistence, the pattern, the desire, the eagerness, the energy. It's huge. It's huge. It's very simple, but huge. Emphasis. Emphasis on the fact that we are changing. We will change. We want to change. We're going to change. Doesn't matter if we don't know how right now, right? For today, we want to just simply do this one thing and focus on the fact that, hey, I've become aware of the fact that I'm going to change. How? I don't know yet, but I will. I'm aware and I know and I'm paying attention to the idea, the fact, the feeling that I want to change. I want to deal with things. I want to make a difference. That's enough. How exactly are we going to trust that it will come? Yeah. So we could say that for today, we are focusing on this capital T trust. Rachel, for you, that wasn't such a big deal because, when you shifted, you already have been working on that change and you have seen progression. So you know you can. So the trust isn't such a big deal. But for Shari, I would say, Shari, focusing on trusting that you can and that you will change despite not knowing how. This is the important thing. This quality, this ability to have trust that we will change. This is very critical.
I
Beena,
wrote that on my rock. I painted trust on my rock. If you see that,
wow,
that's my
there you
word.
go. Yep, yep. And then we'll get into capital T trust, which is
Yeah, I
taking
have
trust to
capital
another
T
level.
trust.
Yes, yes, yes. That's very important. Right now, that's what you want. Capital T trust in your impeccability, in your sensibility, in your persistence, in your progression. Capital T trust that you can, that you will, despite not knowing how. This is capital T trust. Just persisting, just keeping going, just believing, just keeping your positivity, just keeping your spirits up, even though we have no clue how exactly we're going to change. But we stay positive, we stay eager, we stay enthusiastic. Doesn't matter that we don't know how. Rachel?
I actually have like a really good resource on how I keep myself motivated. Um, because this is where YouTube is like my best friend.
Yes, yes.
There is a particular set of motivational speeches, and they're not like your typical motivational speeches where they're like, "It's your fault, you should feel bad." These
Yeah,
ones are like,
yeah, it's also
you
useful.
know, it starts off with people screaming in a bloody rage and have blood all over their faces, and it's like, next thing you hear is, "It gladdens me to know that my end is near, because I will not enter Odin's hall with fear. Fear is your worst enemy. There's nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yeah,
Fear is a restraint, it's a block.
it's a
Um,
limitation.
and don't lament your own demise. In fact, you embrace it and with your demise comes the phoenix. You will rise again. In
Yes.
order to rise, you need to die first.
Yes.
You can't rewind the clock when you're an old man, but once you've died, then you become a baby again, you know? And it's not like using death as like this metaphor for saying get rid of what doesn't serve you anymore and then rise above it and find something that does serve you in the here and the now.
Yeah.
And if fear is the thing that holds you back,
Right.
then you cast it aside and you go anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't stop the fear, but
Right.
once you start doing it, you start to realize that there is nothing to fear.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You
It's
know?
just an illusion. Yep. Exactly.
Exactly. It's life's greatest illusion besides marriage.
Besides marriage.
Besides marriage. One of life's greatest illusions.
It's a good one. Yeah, it's a powerful point. It's a powerful point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge point.
Sorry, I'm just getting like I'm
No, no,
watching it
I
right
love it. I
now.
love it. I love it. I love
I've
it.
got it on right
Fully
now, so I'm just
connected.
like in the
Yeah.
moment, it's just like,
No,
oh.
don't apologize. Celebrate, celebrate, Rachel. Celebrate. We love the celebration and we love
I
you.
am. It's just like I'm aware for
It's
some
just
people it can
magical.
come across as too much.
We're enjoying you. So Sherry, let me ask you what Rachel was saying there. How did that connect with you?
I didn't hear what you just said. It's so noisy in here.
Ah,
Say that again.
I'm just saying, maybe you can on your phone go to your settings, look
Yeah.
for volume, and turn up the volume on your phone. Yeah, because sometimes that's what will you up the volume for Zoom is turn up the volume
Yeah.
on your phone. So just go to your
Okay, I
settings
did
on your
that.
phone.
Okay,
Okay.
I did that. I raised the volume and it's
Wow.
trying to
So
get rid of it. It's really loud.
yeah, it's
I guess I'll have to go to a different coffee shop.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not usually this busy in here.
yeah.
There's
All
a
right, no worries.
quiet.
I just wanted to
Okay.
ask what all of what Rachel was saying. I don't know how much you heard of it, but how did it connect with you? That's what I was asking.
Well, how does it connect with me?
Mm.
Well, I really heard, I'm trying to recap what I really heard through all my distractions.
Okay.
Uh,
Mainly, Rachel was saying that fear is an illusion, and yes, sometimes there's
oh, okay.
physical
Yeah,
fear, but
I
it's fear itself that
connected
we
with
have to
that.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I connected with that. And
Right.
what I do is I just observe that I have, when I have fear, um, I use that fear as an energy to catapult me forward.
Yeah.
I actually see it as energy, so I don't
Yeah.
see it as an
Yeah.
enemy of mine.
Yeah.
I see that fear
As
is
an
an
ally.
energy, an ally that I
Yeah.
use,
Yeah.
so that I can take that energy
Right.
and say, okay, I know you're there, and I'm
Right.
going to use that
Right.
energy. So
Right.
this is what keeps me going to
Right.
keep changing. So like,
Right.
I can observe that I might be like, okay, what am I going to do today? Where do I belong? Where do I live?
Yeah.
Where all
Yeah.
this stuff is like,
Right.
oh,
Right. Right.
overwhelming.
So we can do the same with overwhelm and anxiety and stress. We can leverage them. We can transform them into allies instead of enemies.
Yeah, yeah, transform them into allies, into saying I can use this energy and say I can do this.
Right. And
You
also,
know.
when we are feeling anxious or stressed, overwhelmed, what happens? The fact that we are feeling it means we're aware of it. That awareness, we can say, oh, I'm aware. Oh, I'm aware. I'm aware. What am I aware of? Oh, I'm aware that I'm overwhelmed. Okay, now I can deal with it. So when we associate anxiety, stress, and overwhelm with awareness and attention, they now become useful to us because they made us aware. And once we're aware, we can do something. And then we don't have to, we can change the way we feel about them, even though they might start initially as anxiety. Once I become aware, so I don't have to feel anxious. I can transform it into caution, into strategy, into planning, into being prepared, into chilling, into shifting from future thinking into now thinking. So we can use that awareness that comes from them bringing it up. We can associate them with awareness and use it and leverage it and say, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for bringing me into awareness. Yes?
Well, yeah,
That's how
take
we
that
make them
energy.
allies, by using them as energy leveraging mechanisms.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, that's huge. Beena, what do you feel about all of this? Beena? Maybe Beena had to go and do something. Yeah, it's powerful. That this whole concept, it's what you've been talking about. You know, it's the inner wolf. To say, hey, it's an inner wolf, and I want to celebrate my inner wolves. I want to leverage them. I want to and to make them into magic and associate them with things that
Ah,
are beneficial to me. It's association management, in other words.
but if you count it as winning, right? Even when you lose, you've won. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Exactly.
when your wolf looks at you and says, "Why
Right.
do we win?" And the answer to that is, we win because we are disciplined.
And we are aware. Yes.
Discipline and awareness are the same thing, because
Yes. Yes.
discipline does not allow you to overstep the boundary, and
Yes.
awareness
Yes.
is being aware that you're still being humble about it and you're not taking it
Yes.
to advantage. You're not better than your enemy.
Right.
You're not better than these nasty negative emotions,
Right.
and you're not better than anyone else.
Right.
You
Right.
are aware enough to know that you
Yeah.
are disciplined, and that's why we win.
Right. And discipline is actually doing something.
Exactly. And defeat is learning.
Right. Right.
So it's to know, it's like to look at the sky and to scream, "Do you know who I am? You can't kill me.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm unstoppable."
Yes. It's all about perspective shifting, in other words. The
Yeah.
magic of perspective shifting. And this is something that we are going to do with Shari. I've done it online. I think, Bina, we did do it, right? We did the perspective shifting workshop, yeah?
Oh, yes.
All right, so
Yes.
we are going to do that, Sherry and I. We're going to do it in person, and some of our friends hopefully are going to join us, and we're going to do it
Yeah.
in person. It's very exciting.
Oh, should we do that next week?
Absolutely, absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
Oh, now there's something knocking on my door. I have to talk to the property manager.
Where's your orange bubble thing? It just broke through the wall, and it's saying, oh yeah."
Oh, there's something that I need to do. Okay, I got it.
Right,
Oh,
it
something is
comes.
knocking on my door. It comes to
There you
me.
go, there you
Oh,
go, and just
oh,
lean forward again so we can see the orange, please.
wow.
I say
So
lean
you can
forward
see.
again. There you go. See the orange.
You just,
Oh,
oh yeah, go on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
So
things find you. I find that absolutely fascinating.
yeah.
That I don't have to do anything, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden
So
something will find me.
that concept of things will find me, hyphenated, put it in your dictionary of power. Things will find me. It's a conception. It's an understanding. Things will find me. That's a conception. Just hyphenated to make it one conception. Things will find me. It's a huge, huge entry into your dictionary of power. And also for me, I adding in oh yeah into my dictionary of power, right, Bina? Bina?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm
Oh
listening.
yes, oh yes, or oh yeah, yeah. It's like duh. It's added into the dictionary of
Like that.
power. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what I have to do. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The obvious becomes
I'm writing
obvious
that.
sometimes through the
Yes.
universe will make the
Yes.
obvious obvious if we just
Yeah.
chill and relax. And this is the key. It is because when we step back and we just enjoy being aware, we enjoy being in the moment, we aren't caught up in an immersion bubble of anxiety and stress. That immersion bubble is what blocks the oh yeahs from coming in. We just have to be open and say, if I'm open, if I'm chilling, if I'm relaxed and happy, of course I'm going to notice the oh yeah. It's this big obvious orange thing. How can I not notice it? But we can when we put the blinders of anxiety and stress and worry and bubble emotion and distorted beliefs, those put on blinders on us or blinkers on us, and then we can't see the obvious great big orange bubble in front of us of this being that's bursting through our wall. It's astonishing how people can't sometimes see the obvious right in front of them because they get so consumed in their bubbles of emotion. And typically, anxiety and stress and worry are those bubbles. So, when we realize that, hey, anxiety and stress and worry actually create the very things that you're being anxious and stressed and worried about, they cause you to not see the things. And not the other way around. We tend to think and believe I need to worry, I need to stress because otherwise I'm going to miss that orange bubble. But then we get so caught up in being anxious and stressed that we create a bubble that prevents us from seeing the obvious. It's amazing. It's amazing. It really is amazing. It's quite something. So
Yes.
this when we start to say, hey, I just need to chill and relax and enjoy now and just know and trust that the obvious will come knocking on my door. It will definitely come. It's not a problem. It'll come. It will come. It's very profound. It's very profound. Sherry,
Quote and quote things will find me.
yeah. Are you on your phone or your laptop, Sherry?
I'm on my phone.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe I need
Um,
to.
I don't know if it'll make too much difference, but on the laptop you could check to see if that headset has a microphone in it, because you know, a headset that has a microphone will also help us hear you better. So, but I'm not sure yet, so we'll check it when we next meet. We'll test it and check it. But that's not
Well, I
helping
need to
enough
buy.
for the sound, right?
Yeah, I need to buy a headset or something
Yeah.
with a microphone.
Yeah, because you see, when the microphone is here, it automatically adjusts to the loudest, nearest volume, and it mutes the background sounds. So that's why the headsets make such a difference for us, because the noise now, you know, it affects us also somewhat.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm going to sign out. So,
No, it's okay. You don't need
well,
to.
I don't
You can
want to
always just
be
mute. You can
creating
always
too
just.
much noise.
Yeah, but that's what the mute button is for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you just in listening mode, just mute. You see, like right now, we don't hear the sounds. It doesn't change it for you because you still physically hearing them, but we don't hear them through us. So now it's very peaceful and quiet for us. I don't mind the background noise. I rather have you on than not. But if it's affecting your ability to hear, then yeah, then we'll go to Staples and look at a different thing that maybe if you know if that's not working, we'll look at the settings. Yeah, yeah. We'll change it. So now you just, when you want to say again, just unmute yourself if you want to say something again, Sherry. Just have to manage that mute
Oh,
button. There you go.
there. Now you
Ah,
Oh,
can hear
yes.
me, right?
yes, yes,
Yes.
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right. Got it.
So now
Okay.
all good,
Going to
all good,
Staples.
all good. Yeah, yeah. So when we see you again, you know, when you come here to Sedona, then we'll go to Staples. When we meet
Oh,
up again,
okay.
yeah, we'll go
Well,
together.
that's either going to be today or tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow would be good. Then because today I want to go up to the new house in Jerome as soon as we're done here. You know, so yeah, yeah,
Okay. So tomorrow. So actually, I could stay here one more night.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So for today, I would recommend just practicing, trusting that the obvious will come.
Okay.
What you need to do will come. Practice, capital T, trust.
Okay.
Right. The learning, what we need to do to learn, what we need to grow, what we need to do in our real life, you know, our practical details, our trivial details. Then those things will come. Just trust that they will come. Right. You know, and like for instance, just take anything in your life. If you forget to do it, is it really a calamity? Okay, you forget to pay your rent. Your landlord's going to let you know in a hurry if you forget to pay your rent. You don't need to remember to pay your rent. You see, so what really is there that we eating? Well, eating is important. I need to remember to eat. No, why do you need to remember to eat? Your body's going to tell you when you need to remember. That's life in general. See, we don't need to remember stuff. We so think we have to remember that. No, we don't. Just chill and
Well, this
play.
is very. I really get this.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really
And
getting this.
now there are exceptions, like okay, we make an appointment with somebody, and if we forget, they might not remind us, or when they do, it's too late. So let's save when we do need to remember. There are times when they are, but they are few and far between. And when they are there, that's when we save our need to remember for the times when it is necessary. They're not that often, but that's when we save our remembering energy. We don't have to waste it all on remembering stuff that we don't need to remember, right? So to be really judicious and strategic with when we need to remember.
You're mute. You're mute, Sherry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. What did you say, Shari? You were muted, so we didn't hear you.
Oh,
You muted again. There's a little delay sometimes on the mute and the unmute. So know that when you tap it, it takes a second or two sometimes to unmute. So you're muted right now. Just tap on your screen and you can see if the little line is through the microphone button. Then you
You're
can,
mute.
yeah. If I unmute
There.
from this, there you go.
Oh,
Okay. Now you can hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
Okay.
yeah.
All
So
right.
just,
So that remembering energy was very important to me, what you
yes,
just said.
yes.
Could you say that again? That
Sure.
was really,
Right.
really important to me.
Yes. So in general, we don't need to remember much that we believe we need to remember. There are
Ah,
there are
it will.
exceptions. And for those exceptions that we actually do need to remember, like if we make an appointment with somebody, because by the time they remind us that we haven't made the appointment, it's too late. So there are those exceptions that we do need to remember, and we are going to save our remembering energy for the things that are actually needed to remember. Most other things like the rent, they are self-reminding things. And just in general, learning, growing, new things, new projects, we don't need to remember them. If we don't do them, so what? It's not the end of the world. They will.
Oh, I put so much energy into remembering, thinking, well, I can't remember all this. I can't keep this straight.
And therefore,
And
you emphasizing not remembering.
well, therefore, I think, what's wrong with my memory? What's wrong with my
Exactly.
memory?
But
And I realized this very week,
yeah,
I actually remembered, I actually noticed that
yeah,
things will present themselves as need to be remembered because
exactly.
they just show up knocking on my
Right.
door. And I'm
Exactly.
observing this.
Fine.
This
Fine.
is very, this is amazing
Right.
for me.
So memory management and remembering management is a very powerful thing. And you might want to put that in your dictionary of power.
Okay, so what words will I write?
Yeah, remembering management and memory management, two different things.
Memory
Yeah.
management.
Remembering management and memory management. They're huge deals. They're huge deals, right? So, yeah, yeah, and self-trust. Yeah. So we want to use our the energy because it takes energy to remember something. We want to use that energy strategically and look at something to say, do I actually really absolutely have to remember this? Yes or no? And then we say, oh, not really, because, well, if I don't remember it, so what? It doesn't matter. Or it will, like in the case of the rent, if I don't remember, I'll get a reminder. So there you go. Life is easy. Yeah. So when we trust that we will remember, we don't spend energy on emphasizing that we don't remember. And the more we emphasize the fact, oh, I'm not remembering, we make that a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Wow, this is amazing. This is
Yeah.
a huge concept
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge.
So how the self-talk, in other words, we get to this powerful factor of self-talk and self-description. It is huge. If we describe ourselves as, oh, I don't remember, oh, I need to remember. If I say I need to remember, by implication, I'm saying my memory is an issue. I'm struggling to remember. So it's very important to pay attention to that self-talk and the implications involved and how we describe ourselves. Very, very, very huge. Our self-image, our self-conception is critical. And as we go through the way of impeccability, the program, self-conception is going to come up. So I'm keen tomorrow. Hopefully, we can do module 2. Module 1, session 2, and session 3. So we actually have time to do it today, but I have to leave where I'm at here now, because the cleaners and that are coming in the Airbnb here. So I have to be out, so I don't want to get involved in a long thing. So we can chat for another while still, but I don't want to start the next
Are you
session.
going to stay up in Jerome tonight?
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Just to maximize the fuel, because it's I don't the fuel is expensive to go up to Jerome, so especially with a loaded van. So I need to go up there today, and then I want to at least unpack some of my van and maybe get my mattresses out and see what I can do. And I don't know if I have internet there. I'm going to try and figure out that I, borrow a neighbor's internet. But I want to get all that stuff done. But I don't want to be
Uh-huh.
driving up and down such a lot because I want to minimize when I come to Sedona. I
Yeah.
want to maximize coming there. So,
Yeah. Well, maybe we can plan tomorrow to
yeah.
get the this and that, get the headset, and
Yes. Yes.
you're
Yes. Yes. Yes.
you're gonna
Yes.
need some pillows or some
Oh, that I have
things.
plenty of. What I need more now is just Lindsay actually said she has some furniture that I can use that she needs to
Oh.
get rid of. So yeah, this is really magical. So I
Oh.
need to find some furniture so that I can do like workshops and stuff there. Me personally,
Uh-huh.
I just need my mattresses. I don't even need those. So I don't need anything personally, but I need it for the workshops. So that so that I can do that, or to even to set it up as a Airbnb, as a rental, you know. So that's what I'm
Uh-huh.
focused on. But it's not a um, well, it's a little bit pressing, because if I do set it up and I can start doing workshops, then it gets the ball rolling, gets things going. So. This is a long story, Rachel. It's just that I don't have a place to stay currently. I'm in between, and this is a very magical way that a place can to stay and a house that I can live in and all this. So it's a very magical long story. So that's what we're talking about. The house
No
in Truro.
worries. No worries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
It's a
figured
shame you can't stick around
you'll
longer.
you say again.
It's a shame you can't stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I do, and that's the other part of getting settled in the house and, making sure that I have internet, that enables me then to be able to stick around longer, which is very
Yeah, it's
important.
just that it's just it's just a shame because I've got like so much energy and so much to say.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I've got so much to say and so
I hear
much to
you.
like
I hear you.
explain, and it's just
I hear
I
you.
don't
I hear
think
you.
that this might be something that's going to happen again for a little
No,
while.
no,
So it's
no.
just a shame. That's
Right.
all.
No, it's all good. But so on that note, right there, because I don't have to leave right now. I like have another hour, more or less. So, what you just said, what you want to share, I want to hear. So share away. What's coming up in
Well,
your
if
important?
it don't stick around on my account, I mean, if you
No,
need to
no,
go,
no. I know I'm gonna be yeah. No, no. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rachel.
it's just last night as well. Like when I was like trying to look for someone to talk to,
Yeah.
because I was like up really late, and I actually had my tea at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh
And
wow.
people who are not aware, tea for me is like last meal of the day, tea time.
Ah wow.
We call it
Wow.
last meal of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had lasagna actually, and
Oh,
I s- someone actually contacted me. Someone that I didn't think would contact me contacted me,
well,
and
there
it
you
was Ryan.
go. See, things come. Things come.
I was speaking to Ryan last night,
Oh, brilliant, brilliant,
and it
brilliant.
seemed
How
like
is Ryan?
he's due. Well, that's the thing because it seemed like he really needed to talk to someone, but he
Yeah,
doesn't want to be a bother. I mean, because I experienced this
yeah,
myself when I want to talk to someone, but I feel like I'm bothering people. He came
yeah,
across that he's doing the same, and he's got a lot
yeah,
of personal issues that he
yeah.
never actually went into detail about. The only thing he would talk about is he's with his personal issues and with his family life getting a little
Gotcha,
bit hectic for
gotcha,
him.
gotcha.
He's trying to counterbalance studying law in college. And
Oh, wow.
if I'm aware, college in America is like university here.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's actually apparently he's done his first case, and he's actually got the case dismissed. So he was like, "That's a win for me." And I was like, I'd clap, but I don't want to be patronizing. So
Yeah,
I'll just say
yeah,
congratulations.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he
yeah. Well,
talked
his
about his
first case
frustrations.
was a personal a lawsuit that he was involved in. Not through the college, but his personal thing, if I
But
understand.
he said he was studying law, so that was
Wow,
my
brilliant,
assumption.
brilliant.
That was my
Yeah,
assumption.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
assumed that that's what it was over. But if
yeah,
he's actually in court for something else, then you know what?
yeah,
Still,
yeah.
congratulations, because he's still there. Like it's a
Yeah,
win.
he's
So,
studying it to learn more about it. Yeah, no, that's very good. Yeah. So,
but I don't know if he's doing it on his own back or if he's actually
yeah.
studying it.
In,
But he came across like he
gotcha.
was in college studying it, so that's my assumption.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And
Either way, it was good that you were chatting to Ryan. So,
yeah, I was. It was just like that we started talking about Christianity, believe it or not.
wow, Interesting. Interesting.
because I didn't realize this, but we both watched the same guy on YouTube.
Wow.
Because I was
Wow.
like, because this guy on YouTube, he goes on about Christianity a lot and he like dissects the Bible, but he does it in a way where it makes sense. Because
Yeah.
the Bible's like so like hypocritical and it contradicts itself,
Yeah.
and it's a bit confusing for someone like me, someone who's a heathen,
Yeah.
practicing pagan, doesn't understand the Bible in any sense, and this guy can pull it in such a way that it's like,
Excellent.
oh. Because
Excellent.
one of the things he was talking about was homosexuality in the Bible, and what it's actually condemning is actually rape, because that was from the
Yeah.
Romans. Because the Romans used to say, like, you get an older man who would beat the crap out of a younger male and then rape that younger
Right.
male by basically saying, I'm the one giving, so therefore I'm the more dominant one. And it was just dominance thing. Like rape usually is. And that's what the Bible was condemning, not homosexuality, but that.
Interesting.
So it was condemning rape, and it was just twisted over the years into being something that it's not actually about. And I was just like, that actually makes more sense to me, and now I can understand where they're coming from. But he started going off on other things that I was like, what? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
Interesting.
So I messaged it to Ryan and was just like, "What? Tell me what you think about this." So he actually got me on a Zoom session, and we had our own little Zoom session.
Excellent. Excellent.
Had an in-depth conversation which brought up transsexualism,
Yeah.
and he started talking about that, and we actually saw eye to eye on it quite a lot, and it's like,
Brilliant.
you know what, if you have anything to say about it, don't worry, you can say it, because I'm not going to take offense to it, because I started this conversation, which means now I've opened myself up to your opinion, and whether I agree with it or not, that's another matter entirely, but that's my fault if I get offended. It's my emotions.
Yes, because that
My
means
emotions, therefore
yes,
I have to be the one to deal with that.
yes.
And that's not your problem, and that's not your fault. That's mine.
Fine,
That's
fine,
on me.
fine.
And he was like, okay then. And we had a nice little conversation. It was just
Fantastic, fantastic. And
oh,
this is the key shift there. Just to articulate it, you shifted out of agree and disagree mode. You shifted into understanding mode. I don't care if I disagree or agree. It's irrelevant. I want to come to understanding. If I understand, then agree and disagree, they just disappear. They become irrelevant.
that's
Become nonsense.
how we learn, though, isn't it?
Exactly, through
Because
understanding. Yes.
this is what that conversation pointed out to me. And there's just like other things that I was talking to him about, like right at the beginning of my transition, I was like the rest of them. I was like, oh, if you don't agree with me or accept me, then you're transphobe and blah, blah, blah.
It's not.
And then I explained to him why people were in that mindset. Because for me, it was like I was emotionally vulnerable. And it was like when you have a decay in your tooth and the nerve is exposed, and it's really painful whenever you like take a breath or when you eat on it. And if you don't get it treated, it turns into an abscess. That's what it's like being transgender when you first come out. Everything feels like a personal attack. It's like the entire world
You're
doesn't want you to
hypersensitive.
exist and hates you for existing. And then something in my life happened to me quite early on, I might add, which started to change how I viewed it. And over certain periods of time, it turned into what it is now, where it is like, and what, I've accepted myself. I know who I am. I know what I am. That's mine. That's enough for me. You're entitled to your opinion, but that's your opinion and that's your problem. And if you don't like me for who I am, then you know what? Your opinion is that's purely your problem, and you can't make your problem my problem.
Yes.
Yes. And then I started to joke about it, and then I started to open up about it, and he was just like, he was so willing to listen. He started saying exactly. I mean, he kind of was just sitting there like nodding, going correct, 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 and I was like,
wow.
To begin with, I was like, this feels like it's patronizing, but then was managed to go, actually, no, it's not. He's saying correct because he's just ticking it in his own mind, his own checkboxes.
Yes.
And I was just like, and then it just like,
that was huge. That was huge. You didn't take his responses personally. You went inside him and you looked at how he was responding. That's a
and then he did the same thing as
discernment
well.
and understanding, Rachel. I want to emphasize what you did
Yeah.
so that you can appreciate, and we are focusing on your progression. That is a deep shift, and that's a profound, very sophisticated ability and an awareness.
And just talking about it is showing me again that yes, I have changed.
You are progressing. Yes, we're
And
always progressing. Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, Ryan, you can tell he's been practicing this longer, and he still is to this day practicing it.
Yes.
And he was just saying that he's taking time for himself, but he does miss it all.
Well, we'll bring him back at some point. Yes.
And I give him,
necessary. Yes.
you know, just wanted to go give him a massive hug.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's still practicing it to this day, and he's so much better at it than I am.
Yeah.
Because although it might
Yeah.
I was understanding him,
Yeah.
he was doing the same thing back, and
Yeah.
it started being this give and take, and started just turning into something completely different. It was like we were pouring energy into like a ball, and it was just feeding both of us.
Brilliant.
And you know, it was just like I really enjoyed the conversation. I hope I can do it again.
Magical.
I hope I can do it with Beena as well.
Oh,
No,
you
I
can.
hope I can do it with other people.
You can.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was actually saying to my mum last night that when I was,
Oh,
cause,
I just sorry to interrupt you, Rachel. I just I was thinking about what you asked me in on Messenger. I'm still thinking about that. It's a very interesting one.
No,
What you
what
asked
did
me.
Rachel ask? Oh, you got to share now, unless it's some deeply personal, intimate thing. No, but I want to know
Oh
anyway.
God! Oh God!
I'm always curious, so I don't care about secrets. I want to know.
I asked, I sent her a quote, a philosophical quote, one that's really hit home with me, and I've already digested it, and I know what it means to me.
Mhm.
But I sent her this quote, which is, "I think, therefore I am,"
Mm.
and asked her what does that mean to her.
I think, therefore, I am. Okay, there are so far there are two perspectives. Because I think, because I can think, so therefore I am. It is kind of a proof of my existence because I can think.
Yes.
So, and also, I think that therefore I am. So, yes, it's an illusion also. We are talking about the reality and the physical world and the other world and the time and everything. When it comes to that, I think that.
Lost. Ah. Oh, bugger it.
Whether you seek it actively or whether you just do it naturally.
Mhm.
It's still frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I
For
want
now.
to. Yeah. Well, I'm back again.
Okay.
I unplugged the hardwire connection to the modem, and it, in that moment that it shifts to the wireless, it just freezes me. So, yeah, because I want to go make food, and so I can do that, and I'll take the computer with, say something strategic. You hear me? Oh, I guess there's some pause delay here. So. Come on, computer. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I got things to do. I got people to talk to. I'm missing wonderful conversation. Anyway, don't mind me. Just keep going. Just keep going. Oh, Stephanie liked my sweater, but it's all of a mess. So, no. Don't end process. No. Just wait. Just be patient, computer. Come on. I can be patient, computer. So can you. This poor computer is overworked, I think. But anyway, soon, that's another point of getting into the house, in case you can still hear me, is that that I will be able to use my desktop instead of this poor laptop. It's very stressed and overworked from all of this stuff. You would think a laptop would be able to deal with this, but this one, it struggles. It struggles. All right, but I do believe that you can carry on with the Zoom anyway, despite me not being there. So it's all good. All right. Tell me when you see me again and when I'm back, so I know. I guess I'll be hearing you. So. I see you guys. Oh, it went off again. Oh, brother, come on. Food, 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 food.
And two
Yeah,
other girl
yeah.
I saw, and a boy. Oh.
I'm back finally. Just a simple thing from changing from the wired to the wireless took all this time to connect me again. So what
Oh
we
my God, it's Sil. You're one of us.
yes, what can I say? What can I
You
say?
don't have a camera.
Oh,
One of us.
oh,
One of
oh,
us.
oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I have to remedy this. There we go. There we go.
Welcome to the dark side. We have
There we
chocolate.
go.
Oh
There
yes.
we go. There we go. And let there be light.
Traitor.
Let there be light. There we go. There we go.
No.
So,
So how you enjoyed the mystery?
oh, no, no, no. Some mysteries are not good ones. This is a mystery. I want to know. I want to know, but
Oh,
I can get a recap. So.
you need a granddad cap. You need a granddad cap, and then you got the full package. Then it's like proper wise.
Say again, what was that? The grinder cap?
No, the granddad cap.
Oh, granddad cap. Oh, okay.
You know those really old
Yeah, the
World War
sleeping caps
Two.
with a point that droops down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a collapsed
Ryan was
wizard
wearing
cap.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
I call them the granddad cap because everyone in England wears them, and it's like
Oh, interesting.
predominantly old men that wear them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so funny, those things. They're very uncomfortable. I don't know how people actually wear them. So it's
I
weird.
used to wear one before I transitioned.
Oh, wow.
I quite like them.
Interesting.
I mean, I
Weird
probably
stuff,
confuse
Beena. Weird
people.
stuff. Yep.
I
Yep.
confuse people quite a lot because when you wear it and you turn around, no matter how long your hair is, people assume that you're a man. And then when I turn around, I've got a face full of makeup and wearing bright red lipstick. Everyone's like, excuse me, mate. Turn around. Oh God, I'm so sorry, love. And I'm just smiling and nodding.
You're naughty, Beena. I
Don't
mean, you're
say
naughty,
anything.
Rachel. Beena's naughty too, but you're naughty, Rachel. Brilliant. Brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm a bad girl. No more
Yes,
freebies.
very good. Very good. Very good. Well, stay naughty.
No more
Stay
freebies.
naughty. Naughty keeps us young. Naughty keeps us young, right?
Yeah. I'm just really, and I'm still really high energy at the moment.
Yes, yes. Celebrate this. Lock it in. This is a huge deal. This is a huge deal. This is freedom, Rachel. That's what you're celebrating. You're celebrating the freedom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I've got I get really, really, when I get really high energy, I get really passionate about a lot of things. And there's
Yes.
this is usually how I burn myself out as well, because when I get a lot of energy, I want to do 112 different projects because I'm not sure if people are aware, but with autism, and I've got my all my fucking diagnoses on a fucking piece of paper, and apparently I have Asperger's and autism.
Yeah, you need to burn that at some
Great.
point and say, hey, you know what? Those things are also stuff that can be dealt with, managed, changed. They're not locked in
And I
stone.
can. I can, and I'm learning to do that. It's
You
just
can and you will and you have, yes, because you are magical.
when you have one idea, it's not just one idea. I want to draw that.
Right.
I have 112 and 20
I
different
hear you.
ideas.
I hear
So
you.
I draw a bit here, I draw a bit there, then I want to go and
Right.
paint my models, and I want to go and like do some special effects. I want to build a mini house, I want to do
Yeah.
this, I want to do that. It's
So
just
right
like,
now, Rachel, you want to practice energy management and you also want to practice attention management. Yes?
yeah, that's why I'm sitting here on this Zoom session, because I'm trying to
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do with the energy apart from the things that I'm used to do with it. But
Emphasize,
think burning out.
emphasize. Yeah. I would say what to do with the energy right now is to emphasize the significance, the importance, the magic of what has occurred, and emphasize the change, the shift. Emphasize what you want to lock in, what you want to hold on to, what is really meaningful and profound. Keep emphasizing it. Doesn't matter if we say the same thing over and over. You are practicing that emphasis to lock in the change. That's what you're doing right now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. One
Um,
second. I'll be back in a moment. I'll be back in a moment. Share it with me with Beena.
okay, okay. Well,
I'm here.
it's not like I'm just gonna like try and figure out where to put the energy at the moment. It's just like, so I'm sitting here and when I get like really like high energy and like I go off on these tangents and it'd be like, and I want to talk about this and then I want to talk about that, and I'm like bouncing off walls almost, and it's just like, okay, well now I'm just gonna sit here on a Zoom session and listen to a bit of music and have a bit of a chin wag. Let the energy can take care of itself.
Mm. Uh, yes, mostly in the beginning, I was also assuming that when we have extra vibrant energy, we need to like shift it or discharge it, like by doing some workout, dancing, and talking too much, and all these things. But well,
Mm,
for me, it was a wrong idea, wrong perspective of energy. Because when we have extra energy and we are feeling, our mind is bursting with ideas, and our emotions are high, our response towards ideas are high and very loud in a different way. It's sometimes it is just to mentally, emotionally focus on something is is a very useful mechanism for that. We don't need to get involved in any project physically, like okay, doing workout or dancing or doing something. Just emotionally and mentally focus on some ideas, on some intent. Wow, what a shift it is for me, because I did that. I tried that, and because I was assuming that like why it is. I was just thinking, not assuming. I was just thinking that why it is so that when we feel overwhelmed, when we feel extraordinary, uh, charged up, and feeling that energy inside, why it always manifests in our physical activity, just going and dancing continuously, or singing, or by doing anything. Why not just being energetic? And then I shifted and I tried to do that, and it works. It works sometimes. It works. Sometimes it is just out of control. Okay, no, I just want to just chat, become a chatterbox for hours.
it's like the fishing rod, really, isn't it? If you do it too hard, it goes flying down down the river, and decreases your chances of catching a fish. But if you do it nice and gently and just sit there and be
Yes.
patient, you can reel it back in if it goes too far.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. So yes, it could be just involved in some real physical activity, like walking or dancing, or just anything which require us to do things. Instead of just we can shift our energy, focus our energy, this extra energy, or maybe who knows, we can intend to save that energy for future. So we can tap into that in future and said, okay, this time I need that energy level. If I could, I will think about that.
Yay!
like this level of energy. This is what you are feeling right now in your body.
Yeah.
If you can save it in your mind, in your being, if you can save it and tap into later, wow, it could be. Well, I'll try to think about it more if it is possible.
I am. It will be possible because usually when I get really high energy, it's like my bones itch and I need to do something physically.
Mm-hmm.
But not this time. This time it's like when I sit down and listen to people, it's like I'm almost falling asleep, but at the same time, not quite asleep or tired, but really like energetic. And it's just like the best thing I can liken it to is like a stoner, someone who's stoned on cannabis. When they just like they're sitting there, they're really chilled out, and they're just like, I'm hungry. And not that I have any experience with that, by the way. I don't do that kind of thing. But at the same time, being like someone with ADHD who's just like jumping up and down on the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna be like just chilling out.
Okay, let me ask Sil. Sil, are you with us? No, he's in the kitchen.
No, I don't think. Hello. Don't think we can hear you.
What is up to?
No, I thought I heard him speak for a minute then. And he was just like, nope. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. 1 second. I can't hear you right now. The water's running.
Okay.
One
That
minute.
looks like a funny pose. Oh my god. You can see his hand like doing that. It's like, what you doing? Do I want to know? Oh, okay.
Say again.
I'll be quiet now.
Okay. So, Sil, I have a question. Like always, I have a question for you.
Yes. Love questions.
Is it possible that when we feel energy, high energy, and we feel it physically in our body, and we are
Yeah.
feeling energy, we can shift it to mental energy and focus on something, on some specific intent?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's under the conception of repurposing energy.
Okay.
Repurposing energy is a very, very huge concept. 1 second.
Okay.
So we were doing this earlier with Shari, or at least this is the focus for Shari, to repurpose anxiety and stress and worry into caution, into trust, right? To repurpose it into an association with awareness, with attention. So we can repurpose anything. So likewise, we can repurpose physical energy into emotional energy, mental energy, spiritual energy, well-being. Anything can be repurposed because bottom line is at the root of it, it's all energy, right? That's it. Everything is energy. How we use that energy, that's the key. It's all energy, though.
Okay. And also, like right now, if I'm feeling really high energetic in my being, I'm feeling like that, and I feel that. But now, right now, I have no specific intent to focus on, no specific point to focus on, and I don't have any physical activity like running or dancing possible. And I want to keep this energy, utilize this energy. Is there any way so I can save these things, this algorithm, this memory of this high energy in my being, and then I can tap into later? when I
Just
really
did it.
need to.
You just did it. You just utilized that mechanism. Intent is the mechanism. Set the intent to change the energy. Set the intent to repurpose it. Set the intent to reclaim this energy later. Like, okay, I've got this energy. I don't know what to do with it. I'm going to store it for later use.
I will try that. I will try that. Rachel, and if I succeed, I will share with you.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
oh. Very exciting. Very, very, very exciting.
I have some more quotes, by the way. If people are interested.
Share it. Oh, yes.
You have some what, Rachel?
Quotes.
Quotes. Oh.
Philosophical quotes from people of ancient Greece. Because I was looking at these earlier and it was just like, you know, I like them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
One thing I know, that I know nothing.
Yep.
This is the source of my wisdom. What does that mean for you two?
Oh, that means I'm a perpetual nincompoop. Yeah, really? That's what it is. And also, I'll add one on that for you. The more I know, the more I realize how much I don't know.
Yeah, I read that one and I was like, oh, I like this one.
You read that one? Oh, brilliant, because that one's mine. Oh, I like that. Very cool.
No, I've seen that one online before. No, seriously, I've seen that online before.
No,
It was like
I know,
Japanese.
I've said that since I was a kid. A lot of these things, they just self-obvious things. And, it doesn't matter who says them, they self-evidently obvious. So we reinvent them many, many times. Many times.
For me, this quote means that there is more. That's it. Because there is more. There's always more.
Exactly. For me, though, it means that the only thing that I'm aware of is that I don't know as much as I think that I know.
Yeah.
And my wisdom is also my humility. And to know that when someone talks to me about something that I genuinely do know about is to listen to them. Because if you listen to them about something you already know, then you can pick their brain about it and it actually helps them know. And they might actually say something that changes your perspective. It's like when you get in a debate with someone. A debate is civil. You don't shout over people. You let them talk. And the more someone talks about their perspective and where their stance on it are, and their evidence that they found, and you can use your evidence and you cross-analyze them too, the two together, then you start to become aware that your own perspective is now being changed. And it's just like the classic example of that is the death penalty in America. When you talk about it, you're like someone who believes that it should exist, talking to someone who believes it shouldn't exist. If you listen to what they're saying, 9 times out of 10, you'll find out that your evidence is commingling with theirs, and now you've changed your perspective, and now you know where they're coming from, and can't see the sense in where you came from. So you switch sides.
Beena, what is Rachel practicing and applying right there?
Making obvious, articulating.
And capital H, hearing.
Oh, yes.
That's what yes, articulating, but I meant in the thing she was doing with the person. You were practicing capital H, hearing. You were hearing past their words, past your ideas, your assumptions. You were really making that effort to connect to the more of the things, the deepness. Capital H, hearing, listening past the words. Very powerful, Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Also?
Sorry, that's going to be my thing today.
You were applying capital U, understanding. Yes?
Yes. Yeah. And Rachel, this is your power term. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Write it down in your power term.
Oh, yeah. No, dictionary power, yeah.
I will indeed.
Yeah, because it's a particular feeling attached to that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the key.
Oh, yeah.
So you can.
That's the thing with the energy that you were saying earlier, Beena.
Yeah.
Is to focus on the feeling now that we can recall the feeling.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now we
Oh,
got it.
yes. Ah. See, for
See,
Beena, it's oh
Rachel, when
yes.
we ask
For
question,
Rachel, it's oh yeah, and for me, it's oh yeah. Like yeah, oh yeah, and it's like a little different. We have a variation on it.
Oh,
oh
I
yes.
just had to hold myself in then when you said, "Oh yeah." I was just like trying to hold in my Norwegian because yeah is the Germanic way of
right,
saying
right,
yes,
right.
and
Yep.
the Norwegian ones is spelt the same way, but
Yes.
it's ye rather than ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel.
Beena.
See, we were just asking, we were discussing about earnestness and earnest question. When we ask questions, universe give us answer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I ask a
Oh.
question, we can save
Oh.
this energy
When
and
you
tap into later.
right, but did you ask an earnest question or just ask a question? There's a difference.
No, I just asked earnest question, of course.
Right. The earnest question is the key, not just a
Yes,
question. Okay.
yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
I'm just emphasizing how powerful the earnest question is. Yes. When we ask earnest questions, the universe answers. This is why, Bina, making those posts are so important. The posts in the group, like Rachel makes, because they are not, there's many reasons why they are valuable. Many reasons: self perspective, self understanding, expression, articulation, understanding, awareness, all of this got nothing to do with whether somebody reads them or not, purely
It's
for
also like
ourselves.
it's
The
also like
other,
a little diary as well, isn't it? As
right,
well, so it can be progression as well.
right,
Progression
right.
watching. But
Focus on progression, persistence, awareness, attention. There's 101 good reasons why posting is so powerful, and posting
yeah,
regardless of whether somebody reads them or not. But I want
yeah,
to emphasize one. One is it is an articulation of earnestness. When we make a post like that impeccably, it is an expression of our earnestness. Now, whether or not we are in that post articulating a particular question or not, it doesn't matter. It's inherent there. And our intent, like in Rachel's case with this post where she said, you know, the celebration post of her blood test, her earnest intent to now change and deal with the things that now she feels that she can deal with. That is communicated, and the universe saying, "Oh, Rachel is very earnest about this self-change, about dealing with her aggression." Of course, the universe is going to come back and help her with it, right? So, just that expression of our earnestness, even if it's not expressed directly as a question, doesn't matter. The universe responds to earnestness and makes an effort to assist earnestness. Yes, very powerful.
Odin sits on his high chair and he watches all.
Exactly,
When he turns his
exactly.
gaze on you, you are granted luck
Yep.
and power.
Yep. That's the thing. The universe, okay, there's all these millions of posts. Can't read them all, maybe, or couldn't, I don't know. But the ones that it pays attention to are the ones with earnestness. They go to the top of the pile.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that when you get the universe's attention, they try to test you, and it will be a lifetime of constant testing because it's like, well, I've learned this now, so now I'm going to put someone with a really negative mindset in your path so that you can now see, so that we can see as the universe
Yeah.
whether or not you are actually learning or you are actually practicing what you're preaching. And along this person comes to challenge you, and then you just got to
Right.
do it in the most respectful way. And then when they go away, the universe goes, so it's time for the next step now. So they
Yeah,
bring something
exactly.
else to
The
your
universe
attention.
saying, yeah, it says, are you for real? Right?
And when you prove that you are, it's more.
Right.
Now,
Right.
are you more, or are you still less?
Exactly. The universe is constantly focusing on progression. When it gives you that
Because I
next
was saying this
lesson,
with Ryan last night.
when it gives
Me
you
and
that
Ryan,
more, that next lesson, it's the universe is saying you're progressing.
me and Ryan were talking about this last night, and it was just like, yeah, that's the way it is. Because there's like a wise man once said, and this is another quote, by the way, that the wise man once said that when for every battle that's won, a greater battle will always take its place.
Yes.
And so it goes until we fall. And in the end, we will all fall. Because
Interesting.
falling is going to be the eternal rest. the reward at the end of life, because I've always viewed death as a recall, wiping the slate clean. Which is why I believe in past lives, because it makes more sense to me. Because once you've like lived one lifetime, like me, for example, and I have explained to you before about my dream, have I so? And for Beena, I had a dream where where it was like really detailed and really graphic, and I basically wasn't a female in this dream. I was a male, and I posted it in a dream group in like a lot of detail, and everybody was convinced in all these groups that it was a past life thing, that I triggered a past life event. And I was like, well, to be fair, when you look at past life stuff, it is usually that detailed. So, okay, I question it, I analyze it, I take it in myself, and I let it like sink in, and then let's see how it feels. And it more than likely is, whether it actually is or not, but I feel it might be, you know? You're never really going to know these things because we're not meant to know these things.
Interesting.
But in this life, it was like, I understand now why I've been dealt the cards in this life, the life that I'm living now, you know? And, like, I can now monitor the progression of myself. Even though I might not have done very nice things in this lifetime, I wasn't as bad as I was in that lifetime.
Yes.
So I am learning slowly, and now that I'm getting to a point now where I am happier than both lifetimes. Yeah, it's my twat waffleness.
It's a huge
By the
deal.
way, twat
It's a
means
huge deal.
pregnant
It's a
fish.
very, very big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Massive.
And it's just like,
So, your detailed dream, because it was in detail, it is somehow makes more sense that it could be your previous life experiences,
yeah,
right?
it's
Okay.
yeah, it's because in the dream, right, it was like I was a male, and we were like raiding England back in the Viking Age, and it was like I remembered so much detail about it because when we clashed, it was like I said to Sil how we were on top of a hill, and there was an army of English people at the bottom of the hill, and they were trying to intimidate us. So I basically laughed at them, which made my entire army laugh, if you want to call it an army. It was like a raiding party. Made them laugh. And then it was just like I started beating my chest and like snarling and howling like a wolf, and it got me all worked up and angry and antisocial and like in this different lucid kind of like hypnotic trance like state where everything then went quiet, and I could only see and taste and feel what was going on, but I couldn't hear anything. And it was like just really, really gory and really, really graphic. So I'll spare you the graphic details. And this life, like I was told in another dream that I am transgender because it is a lesson that I need to learn. And I was saying to Ryan last night that no matter who you're born in this, the person you are in this life, what walk of life you're from in this life, eventually you're going to be a gay you're going to be a gay man. Eventually you're going to be a gay woman. Eventually you're going to be a trans man. Eventually you're going to be a trans woman, and so on and so on. You're going to be wealthy, you're going to be poor, etc., etc. Because you need to understand what every walk of life that is humanly possible around your daily life is going to be like. Without that understanding, you can't transcend humanity. You can't become a spiritual being. You can't become an angel. You can't become a deity. You can't become a spirit person, a gate guardian, etc., etc. You can't evolve spiritually if you don't understand every mindset on the planet. And you need
So,
to. Go on. No,
Rachel,
sorry. Go
is
on.
it like, is it really the only way that it could be your past life experiences? For me, okay, why not? It could be your simultaneous life in different time
Yes,
lapse.
yes, Rachel. I mean, Beena, absolutely. It can quite easily be that also. Yep, yep.
Mm,
You know, past lives, and it's one way. The universe is a multitude of possibilities, and
yeah,
anything is possible. So it could be past life. Yes, that's my reality. It happened to be the way I experienced it, or somebody else's. Also, it could be, hey, my reality is multiple simultaneous perspectives. You know, there's all sorts of the matrix. There's all sorts of different possibilities. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it
don't
doesn't
get me wrong.
necessarily have to be one thing. You know.
When it comes to like my own spiritual beliefs or my own personal beliefs, I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
so delusioned or disillusioned with reality that I will knock out every other possibility. It could be anything at the end of the day. All
Exactly.
we have to go on is what we feel personally.
Openness.
And if somebody says something that feels at home with you and feels like it resonates with you as the possibility of what that thing could be, then why not just go with it? Because if it feels
Exactly.
right, then go
Exactly.
with it. If it
Exactly.
doesn't
As
feel right, then
Because
carry on walking.
fine. In other words, as spirit warriors, we get value whether things are true or not.
Yeah.
Not getting value and usefulness. We don't care if it's true or not. Okay, it might be true, might not be. I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to get value from it.
I don't really
because
care if it is a past life, and I don't really care if it isn't a past life. I don't care if it's like a part of me that's just digesting information in my
Right.
daily life.
Right.
I
Or a
don't care if it's some
simultaneous
part of
life
my
or a
psyche.
future life. Who cares? You're getting value out of it. You're
Exactly.
learning from it.
I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, it gave me perspective. It gave me the ability
Yes.
to be able to
Yes.
evolve. It gave me
Yes.
happiness. It
Yes.
gave me
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh
an
yeah. Oh yeah.
explanation as to why things are around me that the way that they are. It's my interpretation of the variables that I observe,
Yes.
and that for me is just enough. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can have your opinion about it. If you don't believe it, then
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
believe it.
I'm just asking you. No,
Yeah.
I
No,
don't have any opinion about that. It
no,
is
no. I'm
just
just
I'm
saying.
asking. Is
I'm
Curiosity.
it
just saying. I'm
is
just
there
putting that
any
out there.
possibility?
Don't get me wrong, Beena. I mean, don't. It's like I'm not saying that's what you are saying, but I'm just saying that I'm putting it out there that you are part of this conversation. You can have an opinion about it, and if you want to like share your own opinion, then I'm more than willing to hear it. I mean, you know, I like listening to other people's perspectives because I collect them and then I analyze
Yes.
them
Me
all.
too.
I, yeah, it is just that comes into my mind that why not it is about simultaneous lives or because
I love it,
you could
Beena.
have
Yeah.
yeah
Perspective
because
shifting. Perspective
sometimes
shifting. Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah,
Rachel, of course my dreams are not like that but yes sometimes it becomes in so much detail and no, nothing specific incident just a normal life like okay I am living somewhere so it is like why I'm getting so much details of some place where I have never been so I feel and it is not in the past tense it is like just saying so I was just thinking about it that's why I asked you that is there any possibility that we could be in a different way different planets different time lapse or somewhere in a different matrix but
yeah,
because people yes we do have a really deep well articulated concept of past lives but not really I have never encountered with simultaneous lives multiple lives so that's why I was asking you is there any possibility because as far as I feel you uh, yes I do respect that you own and you actually embrace who you are you know it really 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 well and it is your conscious decision to be a transformer, which is amazing. And I really appreciate and admire that. But
yeah,
as if I just look at if I just feel and I share my feelings, I feel a very strong feeling from you. It is not aggression at all. It is just a strong presence, a very strong presence. So, because you made decisions which are not easy, which are not an easy task to do. but you
Yeah.
made decision. So for me, you're a very strong person, very
Well, thank you
strong
very much.
soul.
Thank you. I've
Yeah.
always had the impression that I've always been a warrior anyway. Like not just like a spirit warrior or choosing to be a spirit warrior, but just like the 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 actual definition of a warrior, a soldier. And
Mm.
I've never fought in the army. I've never been trained in how to be a soldier, but I've always had the opinion that I'm a warrior. That I like to consider myself a battle born. I was born for battle. And
Uh-huh.
I view life as my war, as my battlefield.
Mhm.
The goal isn't to go through life and, battle all these things like mindlessly. It's like using strategies to cope, and that's my fight. Coping is
Strategy,
my fight.
strategy, huge, huge.
So I use my strategies in my fight, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to learn strategies for those fights.
Yes, yes,
Oh.
yes, Rachel. That's a
Also,
nice, clear intent.
my mum told me something last night that's something I suppose I should be working on, really, which is when I become passionate about something, I tend to get really loud, and apparently I come across as I'm getting aggressive or I'm angry for some reason. And that's not actually the case. It's just because I'm getting passionate. So I think that maybe I need to work on that a little bit. So if I do start looking like I'm angry or upset or getting aggressive, I'd appreciate very much if you bring it to my attention.
For me
No.
personally, Rachel, I don't see that. We just, I feel like I'll speak for Beena a little bit here too. We see that energy and enthusiasm as energy and enthusiasm. I do
Yes.
understand where it can seem aggressive, but that, you have to be careful here, Rachel. It's not the enthusiasm itself that cues the aggression. It is your association and your idea, oh, maybe I'm being aggressive. This sometimes can now bring in that idea of aggression from your cueing. So just be cautious of that also. It's a sophisticated, very subtle thing, but we don't see that, no.
No.
Actually, a quote
No.
here from Aristotle that's on about anger.
Mhm.
It
Say that
says,
again.
Aristotle. There's a quote here about anger with Aristotle that I've just looked at, considering
Interesting.
talking about aggression. It's like it connects. Anybody can become angry, but that is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not easy and not within everybody else's power.
Wow. Oh yes. Big time.
Yeah, because that is just
Yes.
strategically using anger, really, isn't it?
Yes. Wow.
Um,
Okay. Rachel, I have to go. I would love to just
Before
connect
you go,
with you.
Beena, before you go, two quick things.
Mhm.
That Aristotle quote, we can just rephrase it to say appropriate anger and put that in the dictionary of power, because that's what he's talking about, right? The
yeah,
ability to
Okay.
be
Okay.
appropriately angry.
Okay.
Okay. So the other point is, Beena, add to that list of essential qualities, understanding, a focus and a
Okay.
need to understand, capital U, understand.
Okay. Okay.
That's very key.
Understanding.
That's very key for self-growth. If we're focused on trying to prove ourselves right or trying to get agreement on that, and no, if we're in that agree-disagree mind, it's hard to change. But when we focus on understanding, that's when we can change.
Okay. So understanding and
Focus
appropriate anger.
and immersion and need to understand. It's a need to understand.
Okay.
That's what
yeah.
you
You
have, Beena. That's
describe
what
right
you have,
now.
Rachel. You both have a need to understand, as do I.
Yeah.
I have a need to understand. I have to. I can't leave things alone if I don't understand.
It's like Bina's your scribe right now, isn't she?
What?
Bina's the scribe of appropriateness, of the way of
Yes, yes,
teachability.
yes, yes. Not that she wants to be, but by default.
It's because she's the right person for it. She's in the right mindset, and she has the right, like, the tools and the ability.
Because Beena is magical. That's why. Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. Beena, the third little point quickly about simultaneous lives. Olivia had a profound vision experience of the simultaneous multiple lives happening. Ask her about it. I think she mentioned it once when we were on a Zoom somewhere. She did mention it.
And appropriate anger.
Appropriate anger. Yeah, that's a different point. That's just something to go in. And it's of course we want to have appropriateness in general, not just with anger. We want appropriate awareness. We want
You
appropriate.
could say like
attention.
appropriate. You could say like strategically use negative emotions.
Say again, Rachel. You're going a little soft.
Oh, sorry. It's because I'm eating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the ability to be appropriate, and when we leverage anger specifically in this instance,
now my connection's fucking up.
it's quite powerful.
Rachel, you are breaking.
I think Zoom's going to kick me off in a minute.
Oh, okay. Just say what you're saying. Repeat that.
Yeah. I mean, I have to go soon as well. Got another half an hour
And
or so.
it's for
it's all good. It's all good. We keep going as long as
Rachel, just texted me. Texted me later.
okay.
Okay.
Am I still breaking up?
Yes, it is still breaking up.
I think that's the universe trying to say it's time.
Yeah.
And now you are right.
Good time to end the Zoom. Okay. We'll do that then. You have to go as well, Beena?
Oh yes, this is what I was saying. But I have to go.
Good. I'm glad you sleep early so we can start early again. I like that we were able to do the Facebook Live, before 7, because 7's kind of the time that Shari comes and others can come. So that's a good time. If we can do it like between 6 and 7, that's great. That's really cool.
Thank you for being here anyway, Beena. Thank you for being here.
Oh yes.
And thank you for all your perspectives and opinions.
Yes.
I really appreciate them.
Oh my God.
Yes. Thank you, Beena. Thank you.
Oh,
And thank you, Rachel.
Sir, and thank you, Rachel.
Right. So thank you, Rachel, for the energy, the enthusiasm, the
really
magic.
Today's FB Live. I really enjoyed that because we were here and Shari was here. Yeah. And so it was amazing. And I was just enjoying that. That's why I was quiet in the beginning.
Yeah. So we'll make a point to do more of these, Beena, with that same focus. The focus was cool.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beena.
Okay.
You're in Beena.
Okay. Yes.
I can make you an honorary shield sister.
Oh
my God! Oh yes, I would love to. Oh yes, I'll be a proud sister for that. Yes. Yes.
Have a good one, shield sister.
Oh yes. Thank you so much, here. Thank you so much, Rachel. I just love this. Wow.
May the Valkyries watch over you.
Oh yeah.
They're just it's just the same. They're basically angels anyway, so.
No problem with that. I have no issues with that. I know that intent. I know that, and I know from where it is coming. It is coming from you. It is coming from your heart. That's it. It's beautiful.
A shield sister is somebody who's like basically a spirit warrior anyway. So, and you're already a spirit warrior, so you're already a shield sister.
Yes, we can achieve more.
Yeah, they have shield brothers as well, and I assume everyone's a shield brother and everyone's a shield sister. However, I'm still working on that character, that androgynous one.
Oh, good.
Oh yes, please do. I'm really keen to see that because wow.
I actually drew
Rachel.
Oh yeah.
No, please continue.
I drew one that was a bit of a sexy pose rather than a normal one. I mean, there's nothing rude about it. It's just I drew this androgynous figure in a shirt that's buttoned up, wearing underwear and knickers and stuff. But I'm not sure if that will offend people.
Oh, okay.
Or if I should cover it up a little bit better. What do you reckon?
It's better to just do that, so it will make more comfort level for more audience, more viewers. So if you feel that, and if you feel that it is a need, then go ahead.
Okay. Well,
If what is a need, Beena?
Rachel actually feel that she draw a character with some garments which she feels that might be offended for some people.
Oh no,
I said
no,
that
no,
okay,
it's
if
not,
it
Beena. Rachel, no, please don't worry about that. It's not an issue in
yeah.
the least. Not in the least. Not in the least. No.
mm,
If they
it's
take
just that.
offense, that's their problem.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's more like pin-up. It's just an androgynous person lying down, like just lying down, looking at a camera and smiling. There's nothing rude about it. I just know some people don't like seeing skin. You know.
Oh, well, you can't worry too much about some people. If it's in general, okay, that's different. But even sometimes in general, people get used to get offended by all sorts of things that they don't get offended by now. So we have to just exercise our own discernment and prudence and our own impeccability. If it's right according to you to do it, then do it.
Well, for me, I think it looks fine.
There
It's
you
just
go.
I'm trying to be like respectful of
Polite.
other
Yeah,
people as
yeah,
well. That's all.
yeah, yeah. No,
Okay,
and I
good.
appreciate that, and that's very
And
cool. That's very
I,
cool, Rachel. Yeah.
I mean, because I'm not entirely sure, but I know Beena's like practicing being a Muslim, and I know, well, I think I can't say I know for sure, but I think that some Muslims don't really like seeing skin, do they?
Oh
Or is that
yes, oh
just
yes.
our propaganda?
No, no, no.
There's a three-letter word that Beena never says, by the way, in the
Is it
same
because I wanted
context.
to share this project with you, Beena, and I don't want to offend you?
No, okay. It will not offend me because when it comes to other people's things, like you and like Sil and Livia or Donna or whenever whatever or whoever, I don't impose my feelings, my things on others. It is not something I do.
Oh no, it's
Yes, I don't do that. So it doesn't mean that I'm become a police and I just said, oh no, it is offending for me. No, no, not at all. I just keep focus on what I do,
Yeah.
and when you are happy, when you are doing things, and it makes you feel good, I'm happy for you.
well, I
I'm
appreciate
happy for
that.
you.
It's just that I get on with you, and I quite like you as a person, and I appreciate like your perspectives, your views, and the way that you can share your opinion and yourself, basically. And
Mm-hmm.
so, therefore, I want to exercise with you mutual respect, where I'm going to respect your beliefs and your views and your opinions and how you see things. And for me, that's what this is,
Yeah.
doing something that I can share with you and do a
Oh
project with
yes.
you, but at the
Oh
same
yes.
time, do it where it not only has my own artistic flair on it, but also be respectful of how you feel and your
That's
own personal
huge. That's
beliefs.
huge, Rachel.
Oh,
That's huge. That's huge.
Um,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rachel.
I went off to
That's
try and learn more about the Muslim faith so that I can incorporate that as well into my
oh,
drawings when I do projects with you.
Let me add
So
oh,
something
that
here
I
real
like
quick.
draw. Pardon?
Rachel, when it comes to offense and being rude and stuff like this, in cases like this with Beena, yes, Beena is Muslim and a Muslim woman, and she has sensibilities and she has personal things which are important to her. However, Beena is also exceptional. Beena is a new noble. She's impeccable and all of this. So
I
Beena
know it's just
has the ability to set aside her personal preferences. And when it comes to offense and rudeness and so on, it is the intent which is the issue,
yeah.
not what you say itself, right? I mean, you've never heard Beena swear, for instance. We swear quite regularly. I try not
Yeah.
to. I try not to because it's a good habit, and it's unnecessary. So I practice not swearing with Beena, and it's helpful. But it doesn't offend Beena because she knows that there's not an intent to be rude or to be disrespectful, right, Beena?
Yeah, it's just
yes.
Right.
It's just
It's
my
the
way of
intent.
trying to be respectful of her beliefs. I'm not trying to like
Oh,
stereotype or anything.
And we
Just,
love that about you, Rachel. This is why I
oh
keep
my
saying,
God.
you know, you have a gentleness and a magic and a caring to you. And this is why we love you so much, because you really are an awesome person. It's very simple.
it's,
It is
I mean,
so amazing, Rachel.
I know that Beena is a unique individual, and she is
And so are
more
you.
open-minded than most people in my own society and my own country. And that someone like Beena here in England is actually quite a rarity.
Yeah.
So because I get on with her so well, I just want to share this project, but do it in a way where it's not going to be flat out rude. That
Yeah.
if someone walks past you and sees it, that they're not going to be offended either. That
Mm-hmm.
isn't going to get your
Okay.
like own spirituality into trouble or get you in trouble with your own
Yeah.
deities
No.
or your own spirituality.
Um,
You know what I mean, right?
yes, we do.
Yes,
We
yes,
do.
yes.
Rachel, one thing that is absolutely critical, and at some point we did a Zoom on this, or it was came up. It was a big point. The underlying ingredients of what makes for group dynamics, what makes for successful, potent, powerful, magical group dynamics, and the most important ingredient is a trust in the intent to goodness of others in the group. We
Yeah,
know without any shadow of a doubt that you have a real, deep, genuine intent to goodness. It's that exercise we did in the beginning of the module, where we said, "Can you deliberately be bad?" No. Can you be deliberately inappropriate? No. We know this about you, that you have a deep intent to goodness. So don't worry. We know that no matter
Uh,
how cockeyed your things may come out and may it seem, we are going to insist, "Oh, Rachel's kind of being weird today." Wow, but there must be a good reason for it, some underlying deep reason. We default to insisting on your intent to goodness as the reason, even though it comes out cockeyed. And so
yeah.
don't worry. We know at root your intent is to goodness. That's all that we need to know. And
Yes,
likewise.
and Rachel, I'm really feeling honored that you are saying all these things and you are considering all these things. I really do. You actually touch my heart. But also, other than me, yes, your idea is something really amazing, because considering and incorporating different beliefs and different ideas and coexisting in one place in that comic form, oh my God, it would be a huge deal. And it can be a point where people can connect more. So, Rachel, you got something really huge. So it is good that you are keeping and considering all the aspects. And yes, if in your project, I insist that if you need to you just try to uh, make your character a transgender. So why not
yeah,
a Muslim also? So why not
that's actually a good
a
idea.
modern, yeah, moderate Muslim? Why not?
Wow, I could actually do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So
um,
it will be it will be a huge thing in comics. A
oh
trans
my god.
character, a
Oh my god.
Muslim character.
You just like sparked something in me because the setting that my comic book takes place in the time period, England and the Middle East were unfortunately at war with each other. It was the Crusades, and my character's
Yes.
an ex Crusader. Um,
Ah.
she's obviously a trans woman, and she has a lot of PTSD because I like history a lot, so I've looked at the Battle of Acre, and to be honest with you, I think the tactics of the Muslims, that when
Mm-hmm.
they when they threw themselves at the Crusaders who took over the Holy Land, and they left their
Mm-hmm.
dead bodies rotting in the street, like
Mm-hmm.
outside the Holy Lands, and it created
Mm-hmm.
that pestilence, and I was just like, that one takes balls. That
Mm-hmm.
is also a really good tactic because they came out trying to burn the bodies to try and stop the disease, and then that's when they
Mm-hmm.
were had. It was a law, and it was it was smart, to be honest with you. It was smart, and however, my character was there at that battle to take over the Holy Lands, and she has a lot of PTSD from it because it was like blind battle rage where the Crusaders got her into like an emotional, hyped up state where she wasn't thinking, and she ended up doing a lot of nasty things to some innocent people, and she regrets it deeply, and she has these nightmares where there are voices of these people she's hurt and killed in her head saying, I died because of you, you took my life from me, and like having nightmares of her waking up and having her guts ripped out of her and being disemboweled, and all that nasty shit like just comes with PTSD. I've done a lot of research on it, and I could actually theoretically add a Muslim character in that, not like in a nasty way, but like she comes to England and she fights Astrid when she's already become a Viking, and she helps her save her friends, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
But I want to be able to represent that character appropriately
Okay.
and in a nice way.
Okay. I'm here. If I can help, I'm here.
It would be very much appreciated, and I could add that in with this character. I can do 2 versions of her. In fact, I can actually add another character by the side of her, like friends watching like a laptop screen or a TV, where when you're lying on the floor with your female friends and you're just watching the TV. I could do that kind of like thing, where they're both just smiling, but make them both appropriate to the time period rather than just being in shirt and knickers. You just do it like appropriately. And I can like add the hairstyles and the clothes. That would be amazing.
Oh yes, Rachel, you are actually discussing something really huge and amazing project. Wow, I just love that.
I think I might get to drawing this later on,
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we can do that graphic novel at some point, Rachel. I haven't forgotten about that. The Impeccable Warrior one.
Yeah, that's another one that I've been trying to work on. I mean, I've got a base for him actually.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
I haven't.
Wow! Yeah, because once you get the basic model down, then it's just replication. It's not a big deal. So that's very exciting, Rachel.
Currently, he looks like a bald, buff man.
Say again.
Currently, it looks like a bald, buff man because I haven't added his hairstyle in yet or his clothes. It's like
I'll look next time. I can't hear you real well. I need to do dishes before I go here, so I'm just leaving the Zoom on as long as you guys want to talk.
Okay.
No, okay. No, I will continue. Rachel, maybe tomorrow, maybe in my morning, if you are available.
I'll send you the picture in Messenger. What it looks like currently, as of currently, but it will be changed because I quite like that idea of having those 2 characters doing that.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so bye for now. And Rachel, we will continue this in my morning if you will be available, or okay, or maybe tomorrow.
So before you go, Rachel, my takeaway of what you were saying all to Beena, in terms of like the concern for not being offensive or rude or whatever.
Underlying that, mutual respect.
Right, but underlying that, my takeaway is that you're saying to Beena, you're very precious to me. And I feel the same way. And Beena's response was saying the same thing. Rachel, you are precious to us.
Oh yes. Yes, you are, Rachel.
Thank you. Very precious. I always treasure my friendships with people because they're the most precious thing for me, and I will always fight for those relationships.
Yes. And this is abundantly clear and obvious to us. That's why please have no concern for being offensive or rude, because if we have an undue concern, we can cue it inappropriately and inadvertently. Very important to be aware of that.
Yes.
Yeah? It's a very nuanced, very sophisticated, very fine point. But sometimes our worry and our stress can actually create the very thing that we are worried or concerned about.
Yeah. It's just that I am aware that certain religions and certain faiths and certain people, you don't have to be religious or faithful for that, do get offended. I mean, I'm not one of those people that can get upset over a naked body.
No.
That's me, and that's people like me.
Yeah.
But that's not everyone. And I know some
Yes.
religions enforce the covering up to the minimizing the skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So Rachel, here's the thing to do though, in the same way as I said, one of the key fundamental qualities of powerful group dynamics is that insistence on the intent to goodness of others in the group. Likewise, we need to insist on trusting that they are always going to operate from that point and to trust in their impeccability. In other words, in this case, trust Beena to simply say, hey, Rachel, that's close to the line or that's a bit over the line. And not that there is a line for Beena, but also trust Beena to say to you, to educate you, to say, okay, it doesn't bother me personally because I'm open-minded and I'm sensible and I'm impeccable and I've got sobriety, etc. She might not use those words, but she might tell you for Muslims in generally, they would find that offensive. Like if you try and draw a picture of Allah, this is a big deal and that's they get all bent out of shape about. So she'll tell you. So trust that she'll tell you. That's what I'm trying to say.
that's also what I'm trying to say as well, is that if I cross that line, then I need to be told that I've hit a boundary, and
Yes.
I can recede on that boundary and never cross it again, because I won't know it's there until I've hit it.
Exactly.
Oh yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
this is what we do for each other. This is what we do. We practice and we express and we share and we share awareness and we make each other aware. This is the power of our group. This is what we do.
Yeah, and I like it when people tell me, listen, that's offensive, don't do that again. And I'll be like, oh crap, sorry. And then never do it again,
You have such a deep goodness, Rachel. It's unbelievable.
And it's just like I don't like stereotypes either, and I don't like stereotyping people based on propaganda or nasty people with their opinions. I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, but doesn't mean that they're right. And I don't want to use the information around me to try and represent a group, whether I mean it to be in a positive way. It can still be a double-edged sword because I still don't understand it. The only way that I can do it appropriately and do it honestly is if I have someone around me who is practicing that, who can say, this is the boundary, do not cross it.
Yep. That's what we're here for. We
Sorry.
are here for.
Sorry. I have to go.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Sorry,
Rachel,
keep
you
talking.
continue.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Me too. I have to go.
I was actually enjoying that. So I was just
it's magical. And we'll do more of this. We'll do more.
Oh yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll send you a message in Messenger so we can have a little.
Yes, please. Oh yes, please.
All right. Bye-bye, Beena.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Go. All right. Bye-bye, Rachel. I have to go too.
Bye-bye.
All right. I love it. Love you too, Rachel. Bye-bye.
Thank you for today. I'll try and see if I can
so
get later
magical.
on.
Thank you. So magical.
Can you send me a message in Messenger when you come back on?
Okay. All right. I try to, and sometimes I get immersed, and I just assume, it's morning. I'm on, but okay, I'll make an effort to deliberately say so. Okay.
It's just sometimes I try and get the time. I'm trying to get the time zones right, but I can't quite do it because it's just the.
All right, we'll do. All right.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you very much.
Rachel.
Bye-bye.
Bye.